We're going to create a illustration in the style of Malika Favre, who is this illustrator that created this image here. This is an example of what we're going to create, and these are some heads that you can use in the illustration. The first thing you want to do is use your tool of choice to create the contour of the pear. And I'm going to use the pen tool and show you how I do that. The trick with the pen tool is when you're starting a line, you don't want to click and hold with your mouse. You really just want to click once. Let me get back here to my pen tool and see if I can set this up so it's actually usable. So let's do, not sure why it's behaving like this. Let's see. Oh, I see. So the fill is set to black. Let me actually just reverse those. And you should be able to come over there and just switch them. There we go. So again, to start off with this, create one point, let go, and then you'll see the preview line shows you what's going to happen. Now, this is a curved shape, so you're going to click with your mouse and move your hand. Your mouse is still, you're still holding down that button on your mouse. And then you can kind of click and move to create those curves. So the difference with the pen tool and the curve tool is that the pen tool defaults to straight lines. If I was using the curve tool right now, I could continue this shape and I could basically make sure that that line is going to continue to be curved. One thing I've noticed about this tool is that it does kind of like to reset itself sometimes. And again, I would really rather work with a stroke and not a fill on there. If you double click on that point, you can kind of reset where it's going to go next. And so that can be very helpful to double click or drag it. You can do that too. So sometimes, as you can see here, it's beneficial to use a combination of the tools. One thing I don't like about the curve tool is that it kind of changes the way my lines resolve. So I tend to use a combination of the tools. So that's the pen tool there. And then obviously you'd want to do the stem. So again, you start the line with a single click if you're using the pen tool and just kind of click and drag to smooth the line. If you go like this and just click point to point, you're going to end up with something that looks really jagged. So again, it's the key is clicking and then smoothing it out by sort of moving your mouse. Okay, there we go. That looks fairly decent now. And the next thing I want to do is create the lines of the bite marks. You can see how there's like these lines there. And you could do that a few different ways. For simplicity's sake, I might use something like the pencil tool and just create those by hand with a simple line like that. And the same thing goes for this area here. Very graphic. And what you can do here is start to use the shape builder, hold down Option or Alt, and just delete those pieces that you don't need, like that. And then the contours of those heads are actually going to create the inner parts of that pear. But one thing you'll notice too is that there's a kind of a clean bite with an ellipse on this side, or what looks to be more like a circle. So I'm going to use my circle tool and then my direct select tool to click and drag that point down kind of to where I want it. And again, what I can do here, select that, hold down Option or Alt, and then get rid of that line too. Now we're really dealing with the contours of the heads that we're going to add in. So I'll choose a couple here, and I'm going to do an image trace silhouette on these, because if we look at this in outline, none of these are actually vector until we image trace, do a silhouette, and expand. And you can see here too that this line isn't particularly clean. I might want to delete some of these pieces so I can just do Option or Alt and then combine that shape there. It's really the truth teller view there in the outline view. So you can create the size. You'll notice there's really a change in size in those heads on this one over here. So I might do something similar, kind of like that. And you'll notice too that there's all of these interesting intersections of the lines. We want to preserve that. So the way we'll do that is just the same way with the Shape Builder tool. Hold down Option, and we go there and there, and get rid of, oops, don't want to get rid of that. I'm going to just get that little piece there. And this is where zooming in is very helpful. And you can see there, we've got like a little problem with the intersection of that line. So sometimes I'll just kind of move something in a little bit, or maybe move it out so it doesn't hit that shape right there. And then we can do the, here we go. Okay. So now that we've got our contours in place, we can start coloring this. And different ways of doing that, but one way that we've talked about before is with the Live Paint tool. And I can hit K on my keyboard and access the Live Paint tool, and also access a series of colors that I've already added in here for the pear, for the different elements of that composition. So we can add in those different colorways if we want. And you can see here that there's some interesting shadows happening, some blue in the intersection. So I'll add that in there. And, you know, there's also a real heavy contrast, so we could add a darker color on the bottom. And then inside, we've got this white area. And the thing that's really going to sell this is having kind of no stroke applied to those colors. I don't think I added a color for this one, so you can kind of find your own here, or use color guide. And you'll notice too, if I expand this, I've still got that stroke applied, so I'm going to just do a 0. Let's see, that got rid of it. Now, if I wanted to create a background, I could create a rectangle and set that to a dark color there. And what you'll notice too is there's a kind of a floor or ground that the object's sitting on. So we're going to come up here and change that to this color here and set that to arrange, send to back. I always use the shortcuts, which is Control Shift and then those bracket keys next to the letter P. That's a really good shortcut to know. But it's also over here in your properties menu. And the shadow there we can create underneath the fruit, right? And now we got something that looks kind of similar to this.